Ramona, what are you hearing about the potential swap of 1 and 3 between Boston and Philly?
Well, it's funny just watching Markelle Fultz work out right there in those highlights because I saw him yesterday in LA. Okay, he worked out for the Lakers, which kind of gave some people some pause. Like, if you're the prohibitive #1 overall choice, right? You've already worked out for Boston, and he had a good workout there. Why are you coming to work out for the Lakers? He said, "Oh, it's a family decision." I'm telling you, Michael, when they worked him out, they said he was terrific. So, part of me says he got this vibe from Boston that he wasn't necessarily their guy. He kind of started feeling the Lakers. Philly said, "Wait a minute. If he falls to the Lakers at 2, he's not going to be there for us if he starts falling." And so I think Markelle Fultz, when the Lakers looked at him yesterday, he was terrific. And there's a lot of discussion about him because he obviously played for a team that had a losing record. He didn't show as much in college, so he's a guy that didn't make a huge name for himself in terms of branding and in terms of notoriety outside of the college basketball world. But the NBA guys are on to him. And the word was he shot it well. He can create his own shot. He's got that game that reminds some people of a James Harden type game.
Okay.
Obviously, he's got to develop into what you project for him. But if the Celtics weren't 100% on him, right? If they thought he was good, but maybe they can get something better, or they're just gonna turn something into more, then that's why you do this right here. But as Zach said, if you're going to do something like this, you better be sure because this doesn't happen often.
Let's talk LA. Let's talk about the pre-draft workout, Ramona, that could determine the Lakers' decision-making next Thursday. There is the superstar LA has been longing for. At guard, 6'4" from D2 Cal Baptist, Michael Smith auditioned for the Lakers in El Segundo today. He averaged 25 a game as a senior. Cal Baptist in the Pac West all-time leading scorer. Back-to-back Pac West Player of the Year. So clearly, while we share a name, Ramona, we don't share the same caliber
Michael,
game.
I saw this. I was standing right there.
You were courtside for that, so
it was online. It was on. No.
Good luck to my man,
brave
though.
Man.
You know we got to stick together.
Man.
But all jokes aside, Ramona, as for the real workout everybody's talking about, Lonzo Ball got his second chance to make a first impression before the Lakers decide whether to spend the second overall selection on him or, depending on what you read and believe, Ramona, whether to trade back and grab him, should he slip a bit. What are you hearing about how Lonzo did in that second workout? I saw you writing a lot about they wanted to get a look at his work ethic and his conditioning.
I think it was actually more Lonzo wanting them to see how he works out every single day and how he conditions. And the other thing that was interesting about today is that his dad, the reason we know about Lonzo as much as we do, he was there today. So the first workout, there was no LeVar. The first workout was at the Lakers facility. It was just Lonzo, one on none, and all the brass was there, and they got to see him and meet him and go to dinner with him the night before. This one was out in Lonzo's home turf, right? Out in what he does every day, so they get to see what he does and how he works every day. To be honest, listen, he's in LA. Magic Johnson was sitting courtside for a bunch of UCLA games. So was Luke Walton. So were all the scouts that work for the Lakers. Like, they've seen him. I don't think it's necessarily coming down to a workout. I think a lot of what they wanted to see today was attitude and then the way he treated that. If this is your hometown team, okay, and this is your dream, and your dad has been trying to speak it into existence for your whole life, you want to show that hunger and you want to leave no doubt. And from what I reported yesterday, I think what Lonzo wanted to hear from the Lakers was, am I your guy? At the end of this, that he wants to hear some sense of, have I separated myself in your mind? Because if he has not done that, he needs to know, and he will talk to other teams below the Lakers in the lottery.
Yeah, that's a big shift from where they were it was Lakers or nobody. Now they don't want to put all the eggs in that one basket. Speaking of LeVar, though, obviously Father's Day coming up. You had Lonzo post a letter to his dad in the Players Tribune. Part 2 of that awesome Foot Locker ad just got dropped. You mentioned LeVar being there to work out with the Lakers today. Any lingering concerns? I always thought that was silly to begin with, that his dad would somehow be a deterrent to drafting him, but I don't want to dismiss it out of hand. So any lingering concerns on the part of the Lakers, or for that matter, other teams up top as it relates to LeVar's presence and influence on his son?
Let me tell you what the concern is. If LeVar starts talking about his teammates, okay, it's not about Lonzo and his ability, how he affects Lonzo. It's about how LeVar can influence your teammates or other guys in the league. Because as you've seen, LeVar doesn't, mince words. He doesn't keep things to himself, and I think that could be a problem. But that's why it was important today for LeVar to be there, and the Lakers have an opportunity to talk to him. And I in all my conversations with the Lakers, they don't seem worried about it because that's kind of what you pay Magic Johnson to do, right? To be able to put his arm around the guy and say, "Come on, this is how we're going to handle this." But I will say this, I spent some time with Lonzo reporting an ESPN The Magazine story. He's a different guy when he gets away from his dad. Okay, when you walk in the room and he's there with his dad, he's quiet. He lets his dad do the talking because, quite frankly, LeVar fills up the room. You can't really get a word in edgewise. So rather than try to compete and talk over him, Lonzo's quiet. I said, can I talk to Lonzo by myself? And for about an hour, we talked, and he was like a different guy. And I think that's what the Lakers and all the other teams that have scouted him have discovered throughout this process.
Well, LeVar may fill up a room, but nobody fills up a room like Magic Johnson, and Jeannie Buss owns the room. So LeVar may clap back at the media, but he's not coming for Magic Johnson and the Lakers. If anybody can handle that drama, it would be him.